Hello, welcome to Higher Love Letters. I'm here with another reading. This is for an individual who is living, and it's from their higher self and their spirit guides. Somebody who would resonate with this message is in a very toxic relationship, and they may just be starting to contemplate how toxic right now, possibly been in denial. I'm getting a female energy who could be really out of balance with their feminine nature, or it could be a male very much in his feminine energy, but very much in the toxic feminine traits, which is like people pleasing, like taking the blame for others, taking on too much responsibility, carrying the load of two people in a relationship. And I feel like she's been in a very emotionally abusive relationship, possibly. I'm not a counselor, so I definitely don't want to diagnose anybody, but possibly coming across terms like gaslighting and toxicity and projecting and things like that, and starting to become aware that there's a possibility they may be in something like that. I definitely feel like somebody's gaslighting her. She may have just caught her partner cheating, and she's just really struggling to wrap her mind around that happened and why. And I had to channel this in two separate occasions. The first one, I just got a lot of resistance and stubborn energy of like anger. The person, if you resonate with this, you may be realizing that you've been kind of lying to yourself and believing in an illusion. I just heard there's a liar in your midst, and I got a vision of Pinocchio. There's definitely a negative soul amongst you that's gaslighting you. I was definitely drawn to some of my books that I have about narcissistic relationships, and the one in particular that may help. Sorry, two books that are helpful for this. You know, the title's kind of intense, Psychopath Free, but it's all about healing from a relationship like that. But what the cool thing about this book, at the back of it, there's actually a little questionnaire that you can answer, and then it rates like how likely you are to be in a toxic relationship or not. I really like that book. Jackson McKenzie's the author there, and he has life experience dealing with that. And then there's another book, Should I Stay or Should I Go? This could be helpful to you. There's lots of top books on narcissistic abuse and healing from that, and divorcing. I believe this person's married, and they might be starting to contemplate having to get out of the relationship, especially after the cheating scandal, which kind of blindsided this person. Again, you could be a male or female, so this could resonate for either one. But I definitely got a vision of a female, but don't let that stop you if you think that this message might be for you. The energy is really chaotic, very high anxiety. I'm like just really antsy and agitated. You may be experiencing heart issues, like you might feel like you're having a heart attack or a stroke or something because you're just having so much heart pain. I feel like you're having a lot of like PTSD actually from the trauma of your relationship being so tumultuous, and possibly even childhood trauma coming up to the forefront that you may have been suppressing or really believing was not there. And so I'm getting 4 chakras right now are really blocked. The root, I'll give you a little chart here. The root is they're in order of like the location in the body. They all correlate to different organ systems, and then emotional needs. And I probably can't see this, but find a chart like this, chakra chart. You can see what I'm talking about. But the root chakra for this person are blocked. So definitely maybe some pains in the hips or legs. The heart chakra, obviously heart palpitations, anxiety in the heart, things like that. Third eye is blocked. Inability to see and access your intuition. And the throat here, which is obviously your vocal cords, speaking and knowing your truth, things like that. So I did a little rapid Reiki session for this person, and if this resonates with you and you like, and you know, feel like subscribing to the channel, if you like the video, it will definitely connect you with the energy of this reading, and you will get the benefit of that little rapid Reiki session I just did. I just opened up all the chakras so they're no longer blocked. If you resonate with this and you want to accept that energy, just say yes. I would like to accept that healing energy. Yeah, I definitely got a lot of throat chakra to heart pain. Like when you think of the truth, it like the pain like stabs you in your heart, and you are being shown truth right now. Not only just physically by the things that are happening around you, but your spirit guides and your higher self are actually trying to talk to you. And you feel angry about this. You feel like angry at the divine, at God. You feel like, that you actually feel like your guides hate you and that they're trying to hurt you, and that they're trying to punish you, but you're not realizing, that the truth is these were your decisions that you made, that got you kind of a pickle, and you're maybe possibly been denying your life choices, but what's being shown to you is not misleading you. It's trying to free you. And your higher self is trying to guide you, and you may be resisting this change. Why? Why are you resisting? I got a pride and ego death is happening right now. And in the fact that you might be realizing you were wrong. And you're kind of a little maybe overconfident in your choices right now or in the past. And so much so that you did not heed any red flags or any warnings from people that loved you around you, or the message you were getting from your own higher self in the past. And instead of like dealing with those sensations and those feelings or things you were hearing from family and friends, you double down on your beliefs. Like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove them wrong, kind of a thing. When you were shown red flags and truth was exposed, yeah, you doubled down, which is easy to do when we're just, stubborn and want to resist change or the natural flow of life. But your guides are here to help you, and your soul did ask for this in this life, to heal this in this lifetime. There have been lifetimes before where you've possibly had traumas like this. Sorry about the page turning. And again, I had to channel this in 2 separate occasions. I had to leave it. I honestly was so chaotic, and like I got distracted, and I just was really agitated. And then I came back later to it, and I feel like the person has been contemplating things and still very, very anxious, but a lot of this stuff is like coming, and maybe a lot of fear and sensations in the back and stuff like that, and hips. That's where you feel a lot of fear, and your sense of stability and community can be shaken. So that energy is kind of moving from that not feeling safe before when you were first contemplating it, possibly to like a lot of anxious energy in the heart space. But you are starting to accept the truth little by little, but it's making you feel very overwhelmed and unsafe, possibly being scared of the future. And you clung to this life for safety and security, even though it was a false sense of security, hanging on really tight, and, people pleasing and looking the other way, and like the doubling down was definitely like a coping mechanism. And there might be some codependency issues financially, emotionally to this partner that you have, but trust and know that it's going to be okay. Your soul knows the way. But this might have been a facade. There might have been some programming or beliefs that you had that, what success possibly looked like to you, that you might have been taught to believe that in your community or your family or whatever cultural beliefs, or even in your own soul story, that your success was marriage that lasted in material wealth. And you are needing to take a look at your core belief system. That's very scary when your core belief system is shaken. That's like your foundation of who you are, right? Like a lot of things are crumbling right now for you, and it's causing a lot of towers to fall in your life, and really feeling unbalanced in your home and your family and your stability, because those programmed beliefs are crumbling down, and things around you are crumbling down. But it's time to bring balance. And you might have been afraid to look at this before, afraid of the backlash. Again, if you're in an abusive partnership, there's usually consequences or backlash, or the community. You're worried about the community backlashing on you, or there being consequences in the community, or cultural programming pressures. You really felt the need for things to look a certain way. And it's a call right now to remember that material things are not lasting. but you might have clung to them for identity or self-worth. I'm reading my notes. Sorry. That's hence the looking down. The spiritual awakening is beginning and things are breaking down to get you on a path of truth, so that you might be afraid of what can't be seen with the physical eyes, but perhaps you've believed the lie that things of this world are what really matters. Perhaps you've been wrong. Dear one, it is time to open your eyes to truth, to open your heart to what love really is. The beliefs that you had might have been holding you back from what you really truly desire and deserve. So that was a little mini letter at the end, but mostly just channeling this person's energy. And like I said, I got those 2 books. The card that I pulled of like the little daily affirmation here is do what's right. It's really a time I feel like you're contemplating what it is, what is right, what is success, what does that mean? Because the things that are happening in your life and where you're headed right now is definitely going against the things you thought you believed about what success was, and what your community expected you to do. The 4 cards I pulled from the Island Time Wellness deck is the mirror. You're mirroring each other, self-image, relationships, reflector wounds, introspection. You've attracted a partner that mirrored a lot of your core beliefs about yourself or your inner soul story that you've possibly been struggling with for lifetimes. You might have been projecting wounds onto each other. One, in a toxic dynamic of like the narcissist, empath, a lot of the times if there's an imbalance, one's the giver, one's the taker. That has to work harmoniously. The 2 things have to go together. The other card was the stabbed in the back card. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. I feel like that's happened. And it's really causing a really rude awakening for you to have to look at things shut suddenly, and you were not really ready for it. Your soul was, but your body and your mind and your emotions aren't. And like the feeling of really feeling scared or unsafe. Initially when I channeled that was where you were at, and now it's like causing a lot of anxiety as stuff is coming to the surface, like the emotions, like the root chakra, like the sacral, which is underneath. The solar plexus here I feel like is strong, maybe possibly a little too strong, like a little overconfident in what you are believing. And it may not actually be true to your emotional heart space. So there's definitely a disconnect there. So the energy is kind of rising and the emotions are kind of like coming to the surface. And now like the heart chakra is like bursting right now, it feels like. But this was a very passionate relationship, chemistry. You like each other, having fun. There might have been a lot of sexual chemistry in this, and that can sometimes be misleading as well, because sexual chemistry does not necessarily mean harmonious union. But you're looking at all the photos, missing this person, nostalgic. But the last part there says making new memories. It's going to be okay. You'll be able to make new memories someday, but you're right now looking back on really sad about thinking about the loss of this relationship, but you can't go back now. It's just too much pain has been caused with the stab in the back card. And it's time to move on. I'm just going to pull a card from this Rebel deck because these are kind of fun. They're a little sassy, and I feel like this person's really in a sassy energy, or they may be a really sassy personality, whoever you are. A little sassafras, a little spicy meatball. I'm gonna tell you. I hate when cards get shuffled right on the sound there, so I'm just gonna try to do it quiet. Yeah, this person is just... One more. 3 is my favorite number. Looking around to see what other cards I can use here. Just trust where you're being led to right now. Destruction is very painful, but oftentimes closed doors equal new beginnings, and I feel like you're not in the place to really see that right now. You're just still dealing with the shock of everything. Okay, 2 cards just came forward here. Oh boy. Okay. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. I feel like this has been a long time coming. There's been many red flags, and you were just persistently, stubbornly looking away or repressing, or just coping mechanisms of like needing to block. If you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. This is it. You've had a lot of red flags. A lot of people have been telling you to get out, and you have not. Oh my gosh, wow. Take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1. Okay, maybe 2. Move on. Yeah, I feel like your spirit guides and your angels and your own higher self have been really trying to like get you to do this, make this move a long time ago. And you've just been really persisting, and now the shit's hitting the fan, I feel like. And now so many it's going to be worse. The towers are, you know, when we don't listen to the guidance that we're receiving or our own intuition, or we think we know better than the divine, and we resist the natural flow of things, and we force things to happen that really maybe aren't meant to be, really shit just hits the fan and things break down. And it's a lot more painful to ignore the signs than it is to just go with the flow and trust and pray and have faith in where you're being guided. And so when we don't do that, we resist, it's usually a lot more painful for us. And some people need to learn the hard way. And I feel like this person, I can relate. Hence why I have so many books up there. It took me a lot to get out of my situation too. And it took me more than cheating. All kinds of other kinds of scandal had to come. And I had kids in the mix. So I just believed that I needed to stay. And that I shouldn't get divorced and all that stuff. Sometimes your religion can really mess things up for you too, in your cultural programming, your family beliefs. You know, you made your bed and you lie in it type of programming that we get very deep subconscious. Like 95% of our actions and thoughts and beliefs come from the subconscious, which is 95%. I think I said that. So only 5% of our like conscious thoughts control our actions. So that didn't make sense. The other 5% is like things we actually know we're thinking about and consciously choosing, but 95% of the stuff going on for us is behind the scenes. So a lot of the times when it's time to evolve and grow spiritually, and some people never grow, they just continue to have to keep learning the same lessons again. Stuff comes to the surface, like the subconscious stuff gets somehow pushed to the forefront through traumas or events happening, or just somebody deciding to take some time to slow down and look within. You know, COVID happened, that caused a lot of people to become more introspective and things like that. Whatever the situation, something usually has to happen in our life before we'll be willing to do that. It's a way better path to tap into that, you know, our intuition and the divine often, so we can get the guidance we need, move in that direction gently and slowly and peacefully, and not have to have breakdown. But often most people make change when there's some kind of negative consequence. The small percentage of people actually are motivated by positive consequence. So join the club, right? The ones that like have to learn the hard way. So this person is definitely really learning the hard way, and I feel terrible that you're going through this. It'll be okay. There's lots of books out there. I'm trying to see if there's another one about. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of books. But that one with the questionnaire that I told you about is actually kind of good, because you can actually see how toxic your relationship, because it's hard to know. You know, I didn't even know what I was in, and until it's too late. I had never really thought of it. I never thought that somebody that is supposed to love you, that you're partnering up with, could do that stuff to you, because they do a lot of mind fuckery behind the scenes of blaming you and blaming your past, telling you have your trust issues and all, you know, your anxiety and whatever issues, you know, bring up all kinds of things that don't even really matter, just to gaslight you and to project onto you. So it's a whole big ball of mind games and everything. It takes a really long time to unravel all that. So this book is awesome, because it not only talks about the healing journey after, but go to the back of the book for the chart first to kind of see, because sometimes you're not in a narcissistic abusive relationship. Sometimes two people just, you know, grow apart and they start to become toxic for one another. But it's a classic, you know, game of narcissist empath thing, where one person can get easily manipulated by the other person. And, you know, if one person's overgiving, then that means the other one's taking. And lots of healing has to go into that, and really do deep dive on why you did that. I don't know if you're at this place to really be doing deep dive on why, but the first step is to figure out what the hell is even going on. And then you can ask yourself the whys and do the healing and things like that. So I know the word psychopath is kind of intense, but if you look up the definition of it, you know, just somebody really lacking empathy and likes to manipulate and play mind games to get their way, and, you know, really doesn't care how they get what they want to get, you know, and they kind of have that end game in mind, and they don't care who they hurt along the way. So, and there's, interestingly enough, a lot of different traits. It's kind of like there's a spectrum, kind of like autism has a spectrum and things like that. Not everybody is, some autistic people are very high functioning, you know, so I feel like there's kind of a scale. So that's what's nice about that little quiz. It can kind of tell you like, how bad it is. Because why would you want to stay in something if it's going to be a sinking ship? But it's hard to know if it is. So I feel like, though, the person that is a negative soul that you're dealing with, there is such a thing as a negative soul, and that's just somebody who has chosen to not get any divine energy from spirit, and like cut off their conscious and their intuition and whatever. And then if you're not drawing energy from the higher realms, you have to get it from your environment. So they can often be very just like energy drains to the people around them. And if you've ever heard, you might start hearing terms now. The person that I'm dealing with here, I feel like is starting to hear terms like gaslighting and projecting and things like that, and narcissistic supply, things like words like that might be starting to come across your path. But trust those signs from the universe, your angels, your guides, that you might be starting to hear about that kind of stuff, because it might just be something you've never even come across before. So just trust the insights that you're being surrounded with and the people that may be coming into your life to help you. I think it's a journey right now too of self-love. When it said that last little bit of the letter said, you're going to know what love is. I feel like your treasure is at hand. It says, sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier. But more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally ho, the universe. I actually feel like this person may definitely seek for outside validation, material wealth, money, cars, things, people, clubs, social groups, to get their validation outside of them. But really, they need to stop looking elsewhere, because what they're looking for is within their own self. And they have never really had true union with themselves, like true peace with themselves. So that is going to be the light at the end of the tunnel for you. If you can get through this grueling process here and the grief and do all the healing that you need to do to grieve that loss and everything, you're going to find joy, surprisingly enough, with yourself. You don't need this person. You may have believed that you do. And that's where that codependent energy message came in there. So I hope this helps somebody. And again, if you are resonating with this, you did get a little benefit there of a little rapid remote Reiki session. I can do that for you remotely, a healing session with me. Or if you want a higher love letter for yourself, I can channel from your higher self and spirit guides, or even from people who've passed on. The soul never really dies. It just continues on. The energy, you can love somebody even if they're at a distance, right? That energy never dies. Sorry about the glare. So even if somebody's passed away, the energy still remains. So if there's things left unsaid or unfinished, healing, higher love letters can really be very healing for that type of thing too. So reach me at higherloveletters@mail.com, not Gmail, mail. So higherloveletters@mail.com. If you want a personalized reading, or if you'd like me to transcribe this for you or type it out for you, I can. Both of those are for sale. So again, thanks for being here. Liking and subscribing to the channel can help you connect to me, and I may pick up on one of your soul story or something energetically hanging in and around you right now as well. So that's a great way to have an energy exchange by liking the video. And of course, if you want that Reiki too, that's one way to connect. I've set the intention that only those who truly resonate with it, that will like or subscribe, will receive that healing benefit. So thanks. Have a great Thanksgiving, 2 days away here. And I will be back soon with another message. I don't know what I'm going to call this yet. maybe it's time to open your eyes to truth. Probably, I'll call it probably that. Okay, bye.